indicators and factors that can be present that can aid you wanting a divorce. And I'm going to just hold you hostage in this marriage. Marriage is a committed choice to never give up on that individual.
Yep.
To, no matter if I like you, no matter if I dislike you, no matter if, you've been really annoying me, I feel like I've fallen out of love with you.
Because now we getting into some real talk.
Yeah, because
for real.
If
because
you want
this
kids,
is
now you
effectively raising your child as a single in a single parent home when you're married.
And the kid grows up to believe that this is normal, except and not abnormal. And then they don't get to see the interaction or how the household functions with two active parents inside.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? I'm Anthony.
Don't sound so blah, but hi guys, I'm Essence, and welcome back to Refocused. Here we reaffirm and reestablish God's purpose for relationships, lifestyle, and culture. And we do that by challenging the norms with word, wisdom, and love. And I'm so happy you're back today.
Indeed.
I'm happy we're back today.
It's been a couple weeks.
Well,
it's been a couple
our
weeks
last
since
recording.
our last post.
Yeah, because like we talked about last episode, we went on vacation.
Yeah, it was good.
Time away, and so we did exactly what we said we were going to do in our last episode, and we rested.
Yeah, rested hard. I don't think I ever took that many consecutive naps.
No.
In days, and I think even you got 2 naps in one of those days, which is really cool. It's so cool. So cool.
I felt like you were coming for me because I heard you. Like I woke up and I took another nap, and then I heard you say, you came into the room and was like, dang, another nap? And I'm sitting here like, is it a problem? I thought that's what we were doing.
Yeah, no, it's not a problem. It just surprised me. It surprised me. No judging.
Well, I slept and there was no shame in my game.
Yeah.
But we did a couple of things too. We didn't stay locked in the room.
Mm-hmm.
We got out and you found the Red Canyon.
We went to the Red Rock Canyon.
Red Rock Canyon.
And the rocks was really red.
And Anthony, y'all, I know he doesn't like when I say this, but he is clumsy. And he's one where I can't leave like the pretty china on a dining room table because he'll knock over one of the glasses. So I never have a set, right? So it's like he's clumsy. And so we're on this rocks and he likes to be adventurous. And he was on this rock and I'm like, my blood pressure is rising. And I'm happy that I didn't have the right shoes for this particular excursion because he would have had us all up and through those rocks. Mm-hmm. And y'all, I don't know who I'm terrified for, myself or him. And he ain't got no fear. So.
Yeah, I feel like whatever's going to happen is going to happen.
When we watch scary movies, remember y'all watch scary movies and y'all be like, why are you going towards it? That don't make no sense. Go the other way. I'm the one screaming, what is wrong with you? And Anthony's probably the one going towards it.
Okay.
Because y'all, why? Why are we playing on rocks? Why are we playing on top of rocks?
Well, they're not rocks. They're mountain ranges, for one.
Okay,
which
why
means
are we playing on top of them?
They're dug into the ground. They ain't going nowhere.
I'm too black for this. I'm sorry. I'm too black for this. Because why are we playing on top of some rocks?
Yeah. It was pretty cool, though, for real. If anyone watching this gets the chance to go, if they're not from Vegas, because I'm pretty sure, you know what, though? Probably, if you're from Vegas, that's probably one of the things that you have never gone to in your life. Like, I'm from St. Louis, and I probably only been to the Arch twice.
Yeah.
In my whole 30 years.
It may be that for Vegas people. It may be that.
Yeah. So if you live in Vegas, go ahead and go, because I know you ain't been. And then if you not from Vegas, when you go, make some time to get out there. It's really nice.
Yeah, it was very beautiful. And we took the scenic route.
We drove through
there. It was very beautiful just to watch. we weren't even saying much to each other. Like,
Mm-hmm.
man, you see that, babe? It's beautiful. It's beautiful. It was very relaxing.
And
Very
next time we'll
relaxing
go,
walk.
we'll actually get out and traipse around the trails. Put your good shoes on.
We'll see.
Your grip shoes.
That was nice. And then we did, one other thing. We went on the strip and went into this place called
the flyover.
Yeah, it was really nice.
Excuse me.
Like almost like a 4D.
Yes, I say it's a 4D because it's of course all that we live in, and then they add smell and
all the senses.
Yeah,
it caters to the senses. But it was really fun. It was nice to do that, and my sister and future brother-in-law were there for a couple of days, so we got to hang out with them and just rest and eat. I mean, the food wasn't all that, but it was cool.
You know what was all that food-wise?
Them donuts.
Them dang on donuts.
We had some donuts from there, and we love cronuts. It was like this amazing cronut spot that we went by, and it was really good. We had those 2 days.
I thought we had it more than 2 days.
I think we had contemplated in our mind going back the same day and getting another round. And we were like, no. Either way, it was a really good time to get away. By day 5, it was about time to come on back home. But it was a good experience for us to just get away.
Just be able to chill and not be on a schedule.
Yeah.
Not be on a schedule or need to move and do something and hurry up and do something and get something together and get our son together and log on to work and just be able to just not do nothing.
Be.
Yeah.
Just
be.
Cool. So it was really good to do that. So and bond with each other and talk and share our thoughts and things God has given us and bounce those things off each other's minds and devotional and worship together. It was a really good experience. So if you guys have not taken the opportunity, the time to rest, I encourage you to do it as well, because as soon as we got back home, back to it. It was so much.
Speak for yourself. I was still chilling.
I mean, you know what? Let me stop lying, because you know what? That first week when we got back, besides taking care of our child, we were hanging out with each other.
Yeah,
like, hey, you want to go do this today? Or hey, you want to go do that? And it was cool. So
it's cool. I mean, I think even still, I'm still my level of stress is still low.
Yeah. I would say so. But I feel it about to pick up because we got some things moving with church and, it's about to pick up a bit. But, in the holidays, it's time to, get moving and grooving with all that stuff. So it's about to pick up, but not bad. Not bad. It's all good things. All good things. But one thing I'm dropping Noah off this morning, and we told y'all we got back in counseling, right? And I was like, dang, what did I have? I think I had counseling homework, and I don't know if I did it. And I was like, boy, that session, when you check in with your counselor, it's almost like that weigh in with your trainer and you eat right. And it's like, that's how I was feeling today. I'm like, dang, I think I got to weigh in today, and I wasn't eating right. And I don't know. I do what I was supposed to do.
That's
from my last counseling session. But you got to get yourself mentally prepared, because counseling sessions they're very good, but it's a lot of work. So sometimes it can be very draining emotionally because you thinking, you feeling, and digging,
challenging yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could be a lot. Now you got me second guessing. Did I have any homework?
I think we did, but we're gonna have to make sure.
Dang, we got to double check.
Either way, it's been really good to be back in counseling and work through some things, expose some things, and just continue to invest in our own emotional, spiritual growth and all those things. So we have just been growing and moving, and I am very proud of us.
Yeah. I'm sorry, my eyes leaking like crazy.
So what you crying for?
I don't know what it is.
Are you tired?
Nah, I don't know. My eyes just leaking. It's not allergies. Because I know somebody gonna say, yeah, allergies.
But you know what? Mine are actually kind of like watery right now, and I'm not quite sure why. But hey, that's neither here nor there. But I was also thinking too, you posted something on Facebook recently, and it was 9 years since.
Oh, dang, yeah.
Well, it was our wedding announcement website.
Yeah, we had got engaged.
We got engaged, and it was our website for, the wedding.
Mm-hmm.
Can you believe we about to be 9 in June?
Yeah, that's crazy. So fast.
Listen, I tell him all the time. He took over my whole, all my good years. Mm-hmm. Yep. I mean, I'm only 33, but literally, from 21 on, you just kind of.
I really saved you because.
You saved me?
Yeah. Because
okay, tell me how.
This is how I saved you. Because you a millennial. And millennials got this belief. Especially like you like a mid-millennial too, right? You like right in the middle of where millennials generation started.
You or we?
I'm talking to you.
Right, but you
I don't have to say we. I'm talking to you.
Okay, go ahead.
So you are, and because of
like
that,
an old man that saved me. That's what I'm saying. Like, is it you or just me? But go ahead.
Because of this, your era of millennials.
Your era. You sound like an old man.
Started the whole phase.
Oh wait! Hold on. You forgot you forgot what they was doing up in the 70s and all the audacity. What? This is why I said we, because we need to talk about you and y'all, you know what I'm saying? The college years and all that. Like, let's not. Wow. I just, for some reason, was not thinking.
If you would have been solo and single, you might have been susceptible to a whole phase. I'm not saying
but by the age of 21,
I'm not saying you had a whole tendencies, but I'm saying
typically that's in college years, right? Typically that phase is in college years, and that's like before 21. But anyway,
I'm just talking.
You know what? You are definitely just talking. But when you were explaining, you're talking about some your time and y'all. I'm not quite understanding what age this man is.
I'm a millennial.
Well, when you were explaining it, you sounded like my grandfather who was talking about my generation compared to his generation. How uneducated. That's better. Uneducated we are because we don't know nothing. And that's what it was. That's what it was sounding like. And so, y'all, when we were on vacation, he was showing that he's aging and quite early. It's not it's not the baldness that is getting it away. It's your words.
It's in my soul.
It's in your soul. We were going through the airport and Anthony's like, I had some trash in my pocket. I was like, I need to throw this away. He was like, yeah, ask him if you could throw it in a wastebasket. Wastebasket. I looked over and mind you, we standing there, no shoes on, waiting for our stuff to come through. And I looked, there's another couple right there. And I'm sitting here like,
it's what I said.
How old are you? Because I'm like, what?
It's what I said.
You said wastebasket. What was the other thing?
With the change.
Oh. I was looking at these coins. Mm-hmm. Then I was like, where's your coin? And he was like, I think you put it in your coin purse. Y'all. Next thing you know, I'm gonna have a pocketbook.
Oh gosh.
And I said, what is wrong with you? So when you were explaining or expressing whatever you was just expressing, and then you making it seem like I'm the only millennial here, I might just be.
Hey, I'm aging in dog years on the inside.
Look how you're sitting.
Hey,
look at this on.
This is my space.
Let me tell you something.
This is my space.
Let me tell you something, young folks. That's how you sit.
I gotta.
All I know is I don't want an old man.
I'm not old.
I want a sugar daddy. I want a young and spry 34-year-old.
I am young and spry.
So,
I'm just aging in dog years on the inside.
I don't like it. I'm just playing. You're like, oh, you're like.
What we got up today? You got anything?
I might
have something.
Okay.
No, go ahead.
No.
You said I just want to what?
Anthony, say what you have.
Well, no, because I don't want to bulldog the conversation. All right, so I saw this status a couple weeks ago. And it was a woman saying that when she gets married, she hopes that her husband is down to
I'm already afraid.
Is down to have his own house because she don't want to live with her husband. She like her own space. And that got me thinking. We did a whole episode on the ills of cohabitating before marriage.
Is she implying that they are together right now? They live together now?
No.
She said, I hope that when I get married, my husband's down to have his own home.
Yeah.
Because I don't like living together.
Yeah, she wants, no, she likes her own space.
She likes her own space. Okay.
So we talked about this in a way. We talked about this coin. I feel like it's two sides of the same coin. We talked about this in a way of the ills of cohabitating before marriage. Mm-hmm. But now it's like this whole split. She just shifted my whole paradigm that there's another way of looking at this where you don't cohabitate as a married couple. And that is foreign to me.
I guess it's been something that's been done though, because there have been people who have lived in different, like they've been married. There was actually a blog post of someone who was just said, it was an actress or someone who was after many years going to finally go live with her husband because one had lived in LA, one had lived on the other side, like I think New York or something? I don't know, but there was a huge distance in between them. Mm-hmm. And because she's an entertainer, she lived in LA. He lived there with his job. Mm-hmm. And so now she's like, finally, and they're older, mm-hmm. finally, the distance got to them and now they're going to go live together. And I'm like, how did that work? I mean, mm-hmm. I guess there's many different ways to skin a cat, but in my opinion, I think that would affect intimacy.
Yeah.
Tremendously. And you can create your own space within your own home together.
Yeah.
And I would assume.
And it sounds like even that though, I still kind of get that. Like we've known a couple people who have lived in different mm-hmm. cities.
Absolutely. But they were dying to get back to each other.
Yeah.
That was the thing though. That was a temporary situation where they're like, I can't wait to get back with my spouse.
Yes. It was like a purpose for it.
Yeah, it was a purpose.
The purpose for this situation is just,
I don't want to live with you.
What? This is confusing to me.
Homegirl said, hey, we can be together. We can get it on. But like, after it's over, I need you to grab your stuff and go back home.
This is confusing to me.
Or you can say a couple nights, but ultimately you got to go back to your own
This is really different. And I don't.
That's weird.
I mean, I can't even say like I don't want to vilify her or anything, right?
No,
but it's just so foreign. It's so foreign. I'm like, how does this work? Why is it like a low level desire just to be different? Like we said, millennials, we want to do everything different and have a reason for it, but it really don't be a reason for it. Like what? Like it's wild to me. And it makes me think, what could be if we talked about the negatives of cohabitating before you're married, what are the negatives of not cohabitating when you're married?
Yeah,
it don't even make sense to say. It's like an oxymoronic sentence.
How can you truly, like, I believe that you know more about a person when you've lived with them as well. You spend a lot more time in each other's space. I think that is important. And that's why I say intimacy would have to lack in some way. You would rob yourself of the intimacy that you can really form with your spouse by living together. Mm-hmm. And what if the person that you love, that doesn't work for them?
Mm-hmm. They just go along to get along.
Yeah.
At first. What happens?
What are we opening the door to?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like I wanna live with my wife. But my wife says she like her own space.
She don't want to live with me.
So like, are we down to compromise?
That's a big compromise.
No, I'm saying, is she down to compromise for the person that she wants to be with, her husband? And I know she said she hopes that her husband would allow them to not live together because she loves her own space. But like, what if we built you a she shed in the back? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, would that work for you? Because your husband's leaving his like biblically we're talking about they leaving their parents, their family to come and become one with their mate. At this point, it's like y'all one, but the two haven't come together. And I'm not saying that she's wrong.
Right.
But it's not making sense in the form of really building that intimacy with your partner. And what is that about?
Yeah. It kind of reminds me, and I'm not saying either one of these people are God, but it reminds me of like the same where scripture says, if we draw near to God, he'll draw near to us. Mm-hmm. Like, man, if we can't even draw near to each other, how are we going to draw near to each other? Like, how are we going to build and grow if even God works and moves in that way? You know what I'm saying? Because we did long distance. We had a long distance relationship in a sense.
We did, yeah. We weren't married, but
and we weren't across the country. No, but even the 4 hours difference,
it made a difference for us because we weren't able to see each other as much as we wanted to when we were like, when we were dating. And then even sometime after you had proposed, prior to me moving to St. Louis, you know, to be with you, it was hard for us. Mm-hmm. You know, that distance. It was whack. It was hard for us. So I'm like, how is it that you can do that? And maybe she is willing to bend, you know? But why is your own space that important to you? Or could you and your husband come together and say, you know what, we can live together. Yeah. But let me create a space for me. Mm-hmm. And I get it, because at times, especially if you grow a family together, what does that look like then? What if you want kids?
Because now we're getting into some real talk.
Yeah, because
for real.
If you want kids, now you
effectively raising your child as a single parent home when you're married.
And the kid grows up to believe that this is normal, except and not abnormal. And then they don't get to see the interaction or how a household functions with two active parents inside of it.
And we got all the statistics in the world saying the benefit of a 2-parent home. And how much having 2 parents in the home versus just 1 parent positively affects the child. Yeah. Like it's like levels. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. For them to see that.
You know what's interesting though is I love my own space. Right? I do. And you know, for many reasons, not just because I want my own time, you know, to myself, but I like to keep my space a certain type of way, right? And you could be like, I did that. And I'm like, did you? And it's not like you didn't, but I like my own space as well. Mm-hmm. However, I had to, and even you had to find something, you like, I'll just go downstairs and you'll do that. But my thing is even me who loves my own space, I won't even let you sleep on a couch. And we're talking about out of in another home. Mm-hmm. Y'all, he'll fall asleep on the couch and Anthony, go get in the bed. Because what are we doing? Why are you sleeping on the couch? We're married now. You go upstairs and get in the bed. Even if he had an attitude, you ain't getting no blanket and no pillow. You need to go upstairs and get in the bed. We ain't got to talk to each other, but you need to be in the bed. We said our vows for this. We did this the right way. Get upstairs in the bed. And of course, at times we fall asleep on the couch. And sometimes I'm like, he's just tired. No big deal. But for the most part, 90% of the time, he in that bed. I wish he would come to me. I like my own space. Can we live in separate homes?
Because then what are you doing?
And start what?
Like, what are we doing?
Start what then? Because you don't know what type of temptation lies there as well. You know what I'm saying? Like, what if it's the middle of the night?
Mm-hmm. And you can't say you don't have needs.
Right. It's the middle of the night and you want Want some. You can't roll over. Your spouse ain't in the bed with you. You can't roll over and get some. Nah, what you got to do? You got to get up, get dressed, get in the car. Hopefully you got a key to her house because she want her space. Get in there and just to go in her room just to get some. Who got time for that?
What if
you
we turn this
temptation? You got to think of the temptation that lies with that as well. Because it's like, if I got to do all of that to be with you, then what are we doing here?
Yeah.
What do we need to be married for then? You're not looking to be married. You're looking to be single. And then you're at that point, you're just getting married so that the sex part isn't a sin at this point. But you're not looking to live with, if you're not looking to live with your spouse, and let's talk about statistically as well, because we spend more time in our jobs than we even do with the people that we live with.
Yep.
Majority of our hours in a day are spent with our coworkers over our spouses. So let's think of it this way too. Your spouse gets off work. They're tired from a long day. They don't want to come over to your house and then go back home. They're like, I'm going to just go ahead and go home. What are we doing here? Yeah. We're single. We're not married.
Yeah, for real. And I mean, it's interesting too, like a marriage relationship built on FaceTime. Because here's the thing. It's like, all right, if we got this relationship, we got this marriage, we don't live together, we're building through FaceTime, we're communicating through FaceTime and phone calls. That's really the we're not getting physical communication. We're missing out on those cues, facial expressions like body language. We're missing out on all of these things for communication wise. And then if we're going to go so much to the point of, let's say the super extreme compromise would be our houses are right next to each other. Right? We next door neighbors.
Wait a minute.
Even still, what's the point of that? You might as well, okay, yeah, I'm going to come over to your house today. I'll come. Bro, just have the same house, live together and have your own spot. Especially if you can afford 2 homes. I'm pretty sure you can afford a big enough home where you can have your own couple rooms. You know what I'm saying? Like what's the, like as I'm thinking about it, it just doesn't, it's leading me to believe it sounds good for social media.
Yeah.
In this new era of just different.
Yeah.
Like everyone wants to have a different way of looking at things purely for the reason of being different.
Yeah.
And they'll say it's for other reasons, but as I like kind of look at it and investigate and deduce it down, it's almost like it, because there's no rhyme or reason. It's purely just to be different. Yeah. You can't reinvent a pencil. It's a pencil.
I think that's the issue with culture, though. Culture wants to reinvent everything. They want to reinvent everything. Everybody wants to be so creative. Everybody wants to do everything according to their prerogative. And that's the issue. And then you find yourself in this situation. It's comfort. They cling into comfort. They cling into their own likes, their own desires, instead of doing things the correct way. And this is where we open the door for the enemy to, infiltrate in our marriages, in our children, because we're always trying to do things so out of the ordinary to be different, like you said. But there's beauty in order. It's beauty in the way God designed things to be done. And if we stick to that, then we're able to truly see what God does in those unions. And so if I'm supposed to become one with my husband, then I'll be doggone if you're in a different house. And I also be doggone if you downstairs sleep on a couch, you need to get in a bed with me. And I believe that intimacy is built in that home. And I feel like we're robbing ourselves of, any individual who chooses to live like that is robbing themselves of that. And so what it really comes down to is it's just another thing, like you said, of culture trying to just do what people try to do, whatever they want to do.
Yeah.
And calling it something else. I'm like, I just like my space.
Yeah.
Is it really that?
Like,
so
yes, you do like your space.
We all do.
But don't nobody like their space that much.
That much.
Because if that was true, then you wouldn't want to be around. It's almost like you're tolerating your spouse, and you definitely don't want to be around nobody else.
Yeah, you get on my nerves enough, you got to come home.
You know?
Because what are we doing here? Like, no, we're going to because let's think, and this is why we say intimacy. How are they able to truly connect and become one? If you are getting on my nerves or I'm getting on your nerves, we don't have the luxury of walking out of that moment and just going into a different house.
Mm-hmm.
No, we live together.
Yep.
We're supposed to work through those things.
We're going to walk past
together.
each other in the kitchen.
If you're telling me that you don't want to live with me, it's also, if she's saying that she doesn't want to live with him, it's also something telling me too, after a while, well, I'm not in love. Well, let's go ahead and divorce.
Well, you don't say you're not in love.
You don't say.
You don't
say. You never even gave your marriage a chance to even develop and grow. So here we go with that being an option. And the way I look at marriage is clearly not the same as a lot of these people on social media, because I'm like, you signed over your life. Ain't no breaking up.
Yeah.
Oh, you want to move out? Too bad.
Yep.
The most you got is, you can go to your office for a little bit.
You know what I'm saying? But that's the thing. When you in the same home and you go to your own spaces, cool. But y'all gonna have to walk past each other in the kitchen. Y'all gonna have to walk past each other down the hallway eventually.
You're gonna cross paths.
But at 2 separate homes, nope, I'm good. I got everything I need here.
Yep.
I literally don't have to see you. I don't see my neighbors once every 2 weeks, if that.
Yep. How easy it is for us to get into an argument or whatever, or any kind of intense fellowship. Mm-hmm. And you go to your house or I go to mine, we'll never got to come back. Like, no, he made me real mad. Mm-hmm. I can go to my space and know that, you know what am I doing? Mm-hmm. He made me that, man. I don't have to deal with this. I got my own spot. What are we doing? Mm-hmm. So, like you said, it makes it easy for when you're in a union and you're arguing, you got to cross paths. At some point, you have to address whatever it is so that we can live in harmony. Yep. And when you are separate, it just doesn't work. That type of union just won't make sense to me, at all. And it saddens me that marriage is even dumbed down to that type of stuff. Yeah. Marriage is a beautiful thing that God created. And, are you afraid of not having your own space? The other person's going to get on your nerves, or what you want. You spend too much time together. You're not going to like them no more and whatever. But we know the marriage go through cycles. Mm-hmm. There's always going to be moments where you can't stand them. You might not even like them. Yep. Sometimes you might not even be in love with them, but it's not an emotion. Marriage is a commitment. Love is a commitment. Mm-hmm. And I'm still going to do what I got to do 100% of the time, because that's the vow that I made. And ain't no breaking up. Yep. I keep saying that to you but you know.
Yeah. Well, we got the same mindset.
We know. We know.
But here's the other thing too. If you talk about it ain't no breaking up, people look at ain't no breaking up, like when people have that mindset, we ain't getting a divorce. Divorce doesn't exist. People look at that like, when people say it, they literally believe that there is no possibility. And they're not hearing the decision in that statement, because it absolutely is a possibility to divorce. It does exist. We can go down to the courthouse right now. Bible talk about divorce. Mm-hmm. We can go down to the courthouse right now and get divorced. But the focus and intention and energy that we're putting into our marriage to make sure that we don't go down that path is what's necessary. Absolutely. I remember when I was a new alpha, is hanging out with old heads. I'll never forget, one of them said, if you just put bros in a room, just chill. Like, they don't even have to say nothing. Mm-hmm. Eventually, the relationship, the bond, the brotherhood is going to grow. It's going to form. Yeah. And that's the same thing if you're just around your spouse, it's going to grow. Yeah. And if you pull that away, if you take that away, you're shooting any possibility of intimacy being able to build. Absolutely. You can come in with the mindset, the deepest mindset that you want of, I just don't click with this person. I just don't click with my spouse. I just don't click. Just give it some time. There's actually something to cleaving. There's actually something to cleaving. And if you're pulling away all of the abilities and the time and whatever else can come close to cleaving, you're shooting your marriage in the foot. Yeah, absolutely. Maybe in the heart.
I agree. And to what you said, when we say there's no breaking up, people may look at that like, it's a Well, we not. And it eliminates the possibility of it is possible. There are indicators and factors that can be present that can aid in you wanting a divorce. And I'm not like saying, oh, we're just going to be unhappy and I'm going to just hold you hostage in this marriage.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's not what it means. Marriage is a committed choice to never give up on that individual.
Yep.
To no matter if I like you, no matter if I dislike you, no matter if you've been really annoying me, I feel like I've fallen out of love with you. That spark, that flame is missing. I'm not in love anymore. Those feelings may come up.
Mm-hmm.
But that doesn't give me permission to go ahead and file for divorce.
Mm-hmm.
What that means is okay, we may need counseling. We may need to figure out what it is. Infidelity may happen.
Mm-hmm.
And people may look at infidelity different than we do. Infidelity can take place in a marriage. God forbid that it does.
Mm-hmm.
But I believe that a marriage can make it through it as well.
Mm-hmm.
Now, does it have to?
Nope.
No, I'm not saying that.
Nope.
Because that is permission for
Mm-hmm.
for divorce. But what I'm saying is it's possible to reconcile.
Mm-hmm.
And if both parties are committed to actual healing and reconciliation, it's going to be a long, hard road,
Mm-hmm.
sure. But if I'm truly committed to you, let's try.
Yep.
Let's try. It's going to be a process. But I believe that a marriage, a strong marriage, one that has a foundation, even if I believe that marriages can make it,
Mm-hmm.
period. And this is why I say, ain't no breaking up.
Yeah.
No, it's not no breaking up.
Yep.
And so it just means, like you said, two individuals committed to doing what's necessary for that union to be successful.
Mm-hmm.
And space, too much of space away, then you can have like I said, you leave room for the enemy
Yep.
to come and creep right on in there
Yep.
and do what it needs to do, because the enemy doesn't like family. Anything that's separated.
Yep.
You're already playing into his plan. It's just separate. You're giving it to him. You're not even you're literally giving your marriage over to the enemy because he doesn't like the idea of a traditional family anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway. So marriages, getting married and not living together, I pray that is never the new tradition.
Yeah. You never know.
Never the new tradition. But with this culture, you just never know which way it'll go.
You never know.
But if you're actually trying to be married for that intimacy, that unity, if you really want that marriage that God designed, that's just not going to work.
Mm-hmm.
That's not an option. Unless, like we said, it's someone who has had to be separated for a certain amount of time because of what work took them somewhere, or, whatever,
Mm-hmm.
for whatever reasons. But the goal was to always come back together.
Yep.
But yeah, culture, it has a way of
just influencing
some stuff,
influencing further and further. I'll call it nonsense.
Yeah,
Just for the sake of it being. Bro, there's no reason. There's no reason for that type of thing to be a norm. There's no. Come on now. Come on.
None.
Come on.
So when did we get away from the she sheds that women were building in the backyard? Like, this is my space. Or the men caves. That's where people were creating their own space.
A whole house?
A whole house?
You know what that reminds me of? It reminds me of when people take things to the extreme and pervert it.
Oh, yeah.
That's what happened.
Yes.
Especially what God created and ordained. When it's perverted, it goes bad. Yeah. It's not going to end well. Yeah. And then when it doesn't end well, then we're going to be normalizing divorce. Yeah, divorce happens. Yes, it's never good. It's never good. Divorce is never, at the end of the day, even though even the divorces that are getting people away from abuse and infidelity, it's still not good. God still sheds a tear. Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's something that has become perverted. So we perverting individuality now. Mm-hmm. We perverting alone time.
Yeah.
For the sake, at the expense of this union that God has put together, created, ordained, even for the people who aren't Christians, who don't believe in Jesus, who don't believe in God even. Guess what? Marriage was still ordained by him. It was still created by him. Yeah. You're going to be functioning under those permissions in some way or another. Yeah. And you're going to also experience the bad when those permissions are perverted.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not even the bad, the consequences when those permissions are perverted. Yeah.
I think what, ultimately what it is like you said, perverting it. I think people look at God's word as Webster. You can go in there and change the definition of things. You can't. And that's the reality of it. Webster Dictionary can add all these different things. They can change what marriage means in there. And, all those things can be altered, but God's word cannot. And so this is where there's always a clash with Christ and culture, because God's word remains the same. And if we just adhere to what he's already written out, we literally got the blueprint, the cheat code. But instead of doing that, they're like, you know what? I love my flesh. I love what I want so much that, what if I just squeeze that in there a little bit? That doesn't mess it up. Nope, it does. You cannot redefine God's word. You can't change it. It is what it is. Sure, there's some things you may not like about it. What do you want me to say? And there's
some things that we don't like about it.
There's some things we don't like. Like, God really got to do this.
Right.
But ultimately, it's designed. He designed things the way that he designed it for it to succeed. And we can't understand or necessarily see how it succeeded in that manner or why or how it will, but it will. We have to trust who God is and why he designed things the way that we did. And he has. It's like arguing with, you ever seen a beautiful painting? You're like, oh, that is gorgeous. What is it? And then you talk to the artist and they tell you what it is and why they did it this way. And then here comes somebody, well, what I would have done. I didn't ask you what you would have done.
Like,
this is an original piece created by me. You can't tell me. Like, I literally defined this piece. I created it. There was no other piece like this prior to me creating it. And that's what God is, the original creator, the number one. He is the orchestrator of all of this, the designer, the ultimate designer. You can't come to him and tell him, well, I didn't ask you what you would have done. In fact, I already know what you would have done, you little sinner. You little sinner. I know what you would have done. This is why I did it this way, to protect you. To protect you.
So that you can enjoy this greatness.
You hear me? You hear me? So marriage is a lot of work, but it's so worth it. And we rob ourselves from experiencing God truly work through our marriage when we do things out of his order and try to pervert it to fit our own little
zhuzh.
Yeah, whatever that is.
I don't know what it is.
But
whatever you can say the same thing.
Yeah,
I don't know what that is.
We don't know what that is. But it's beauty and the way that God created things. So, if that is something like marriage or something that you're interested in, I encourage you to truly look at what God's word says about marriage. Go to marriage counselors, Christian marriage counselors. Seek guidance from those individuals who've been married for years, how they work through those things. Sure, you like your space. I get it. Like, I truly get it.
You got a space, y'all, right over here.
Yeah, my husband built me my own prayer room. Y'all know sometimes I done fell asleep in there. Like, I needed my own space. And I just go in there. I cry it out. I sleep in there. I do my prayer in there. I do all I need to do in there. And then I'm ready. I'll come back out. And then I still do what I'm supposed to do and be present for my marriage. But I think people show up very selfishly in marriages. That just sounds like a very selfish statement to me.
Yeah. Because it just goes back to it. There's no way that you could fully be. I'm making that statement. There's no way that you could fully be present in the marriage if you're not in the presence of the home.
No, you can't show up. You're not showing up in your marriage 100%. You're not. And in this perverted world, I'm sure it works for some people. But
does it though?
Not truly. No.
They'll say it will though.
Not truly. You know what I'm saying? Like, think of it this way. Like, you got atheists out here that's eating. You know what I'm saying? They got food on their table. So it's not saying that they not being fed.
Yeah.
But you got people out here that's married. Don't mean it's working right. It doesn't mean that they're actually, and for the outside world, they may seem the happiest they've ever been, but they're still not truly experiencing God's presence move in that marriage. Mm-hmm. They haven't experienced that because they've robbed themselves of God's presence in their marriage. Yep. So sure, it's people that do it, but they're not truly experiencing the union that God has created with marriages. Yeah. So that's just the unfortunate thing. Here we go again with people just trying to change things.
Just change it.
Just change it.
It's so that element of just changing it is so ingrained into our culture. I even feel like a little like, but shouldn't we be okay with changing it? I even feel a little bit of that. Like, as we talk about it, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, but shouldn't we be? No, like, bro, everything don't need to be changed though.
No,
like everything doesn't have to change, and that's okay. We're not Generation X. We're not baby boomers that are afraid of change or anything like that. Everything truly doesn't. What if it has already been, which it has, what if it has already been engineered to be and function perfectly as it needs to be and function?
Well, it's not perfect for me. It may be perfect for you.
I forgot about that.
You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody knows so much today. You can't tell them nothing, boy. Like, listen, you know, everything is challenged. You know, everything is challenged. You can literally be born a certain way, and that is challenged. Mm-hmm. Everything is challenged today. And at the end of the day, the only thing that is unmovable, can't be changed, is God's word, is God. Mm-hmm. At the end of the day. But yeah, that's culture. Yeah. But you know what? It's just it's trends.
It's trends.
It's trends.
Well, because it's so trendy that they'll go with that and shout it to the mountaintops, go talk about it, teach classes about it, and then 10 years down the line, they divorce.
Yep. And then have this whole reason as to why this was a beautiful, amicable split. Instead of just admitting the failure to your original plan.
Yep.
And, you know, I'm grateful that God gave us a design for things. I'm not interested in working overtime to change things. Mm-hmm. I like getting all the answers. Mm-hmm. Like, that's a test that I don't even have to, you know, like, sure, I got to go through some things, but he literally gave me like the answer sheet. Yeah. Who wouldn't want that? Yep. Who wouldn't want the answer sheet? Instead, you know, I'm going to change it. Who wants, that's like your teacher giving you a test page and, you know, you argue with her what the right answer is. People do that. Y'all be listening. Mm-hmm. It's some things that just don't even make sense in this world. But if I have the cheat code, I got the blueprint, I'm following that. Mm-hmm. I don't have to go and change nothing.
Simple.
It's simple. And I think it's success. It's success in that it's proven success. But yeah, marriage is, I think, a beautiful thing. I'm so grateful that we got to experience it and doing things the correct way. Because I had said at one point, somebody asked me, what is marriage like after we got married? And I was able to say, y'all, it's like a sleepover that never ends. Like, really and truly, a sleepover that never ends. I was so excited for us to like embark on that together. I had never lived with a man prior. You know, that's not my family, but I never lived with a man prior. So this was different. This was a new experience for us. And it was truly exciting because I love you so much. I want to be there. You know what I'm saying? I want to be there. I remember laying on you and putting my eye on your eye and getting your eye juices in my eye juices. Y'all, I know that is nasty, but that is what it was.
I lived through it and I'm still over here. Like,
he let me do it. And I used to tell them, I just want to get in your skin. You know? And I remember waking up like, we grown. Like, yo, you know?
That's funny.
You know, but it's a beautiful thing to do things the right way and to truly learn to cleave to your spouse and not allow so much space in between. So, I encourage people to explore why that is as well. Why do you want to only be alone? And maybe if that's the case, maybe you just need to be alone.
Yeah. And just be alone.
And just be alone.
Be done with it.
And be done.
Don't bring anybody else down.
Don't bring nobody else. What if they love languages?
Bottomless lonely
quality
pit.
time.
Hey, love languages. We could keep this going. All of that stuff.
What if they love languages quality time? They love tank gonna be empty.
Empty. Quality time. The physical touch people struggling. Oh, that, bro. Dang. No well.
They get words of affirmation though.
You get that.
Hey babe, I love you. Have a good day. You know. But yeah, I don't know. But yeah, we look at marriage the way God views marriage, and I'm grateful for it because if we don't know, we're gonna go and look at His Word.
Yeah,
and that's always a great reminder of how we're supposed to be with each other.
Right.
Yeah.
I ain't got nothing else.
But in the meantime, in between time,
stay focused. Peace.